Hello and welcome to Educational Specifications Virtual Workshop number 3 for Emily Gray Junior High School and Tonka Verde High School. I'm Molly Smith, your planning consultant from Think Smart Planning, Inc. My email address is located below if you'd like to send any comments. As you recall, the planning process for both schools is that Tonka Verde Unified School District has been awarded additional capacity for 284 students in the 7th through 12th grades for a total of 30,675 gross square feet. In addition, the district has recently passed a bond question which will add additional funds to the effort. Later in the presentation, I will describe some of the ways the additional bond funds will be added to our project for each of the facilities. The goals of the planning effort are to identify current uses and capacities for both the junior high and high school, to identify the long and short-term facility goals for each school, to support teaching and learning, and to identify how the current budget will be prioritized to satisfy the current growth at each school and to master plan for future priorities. If you recall, our earlier workshops covered learning context, learning process, and learning organization, and we completed interviews where we had input from individual groups, and we included virtual tours in some of our workshop information. This final workshop, number 3, our virtual workshop number 3, will encompass information about the learning environments that we've now concluded after gathering all of our information, and we'll show how we're going to satisfy the needs of each of the schools. We will be asking for input at the end of the workshop on the information that you're being presented. So please complete that SurveyMonkey survey at the end of this workshop. And then the next step will be to document all of the ideas in an educational specifications document for use by the architect in the design of the project. If you recall, in our former workshops, we looked at learning context, and we were asked to prioritize our learning context ideas that had come out of workshop number 2. In question 1, we were asked to rank the following learning context concepts from highest to lowest priority. You can see here, in the former slide, you can see that those ideas were sorted according to the SurveyMonkey survey, and the top ideas here are in red. Our top concepts for learning context were to have adaptable and flexible learning spaces, seamless integration of robust technology, outdoor learning spaces and support, authentic learning, collaborative spaces, and elective choice and spaces. Other ideas that came to light in the survey were safe and ADA compliant campus, community parent involvement, inclusion of areas for performance, pride of neighborhood and community, athletic facilities, outdoor areas and support, and CTE and hands-on trades program offerings. We were also asked to prioritize our top learning process priorities. Here you can see the table that came from our SurveyMonkey survey. We were asked to rank the learning process concepts from highest to lowest priority. The top concepts for learning process were creative problem-based learning, relevant real-world skills and strategies, hands-on collaborative learning, differentiated personal learning, immediate, useful, honest, and ongoing assessments, emphasizes social skills and critical thinking, and other ideas that came to light were incorporating student choice and voice, emphasizing critical thinking, collaborative, and technology infused. Next, we looked at prioritizing the top learning organization priorities. Here in the first question, we were asked to rank from highest to lowest the priority for organizing Tonkaverty USD students. You can see that the chart here shows the priorities listed in order. When asked about the organization of students, some of the highest rated concepts were to organize by gender, flexible size groupings, organized by grade level, team teaching, and organized by career pathways. We were also asked to rank from highest to lowest the priority for time for our students. You can see the chart generated from that on this page. Here, some of our top ideas were flexibility to start school, pick your start time, late start school, year-round school, extended hours, longer day and Saturday school, etc., one-period scheduling, and after-hours access to games and libraries, clubs, etc. Under learning organization, we were also asked to rank the following for priority highest to lowest for the organization of Tonkaverty USD subjects. Top ideas listed were sequential order, interconnectivity or integrated, encourage experimentation and discovery, disciplinary divisions, career tech-driven and pathways, relevancy to the real world, and students learn while doing. Finally, we were asked to rank highest to lowest priority for the organization of Tonkaverty USD settings or learning environments. Here, our top ideas for both schools came out to be the addition of small learning spaces, flexible and informal learning areas, whole group spaces, traditional classrooms, transparency to other areas, breakout areas, and community use space. Finally, we were asked to prioritize our top learning environment priorities. Remember that we were now focusing on the information regarding learning context, big visionary goals, learning process, and learning organization. And we were asked to include all the settings that a student learns: school, home, public library, museum, communities, workplaces. In question 1, part 1, we were asked to describe the spaces needed for learning in support of our instructional staff. Top ideas were staff prep area and workroom, collaboration areas, flexible space, flexible furnishings and equipment, robust technology, transparency, and having one's own classroom. Other ideas mentioned were outside spaces, ventilation, small group spaces, and natural lighting. In part 2 of the question, we were asked to describe spaces needed for learning in the support of the community. Top ideas that derived from this question were flexible space for performances, meetings, and gatherings, after-hours access to the campus, a running track, available and accessible to the campus. Here, we were looking at availability for the community to access the campus, indoor-outdoor spaces with fold-away walls, a student center, improved access to gym, and lecture hall auditorium were also mentioned. In part 3, we were asked to describe spaces needed for learning in support of students. Here, our top ideas were engaging community space with flexible seating, adequate classroom and learning space, updated technology, covered outdoor areas in classrooms, collaboration spaces, research facilities and multi-purpose labs, and flexible furnishings and space. Other ideas were lecture hall and performance space, small group space, safe campus, physical fitness space, mental health space, updated CTE facilities, and performing arts areas. In question 2, we were asked to discuss technology and its integration into the TVUSD learning environments. Top idea that came out from this question was safe and easy access at home and at school, consistency and quality of service, updated and modern, one-to-one access to computers for students and staff, updated projection capabilities. Other ideas were equitable for all, engaging and interactive, more charging ports, audio enhancement, updated technology for staff, and seamless integration of technology. In question 3, we were asked to describe the ideal ways to incorporate flexibility and agility into TVUSD students' learning experience. Top ideas that were answered in this question were to provide a variety of small group collaboration areas, multi-use rooms, flexible seating and table/desk options, outdoor classroom space, flexible furniture, open common space, online learning for students to make up work, flexible walls, cross-curricular subjects, better access to technology, and a balance between outside and airy open spaces. Next, we're going to look at the solutions that have been suggested for both the junior high school and the high school learning environments. Now we will be looking at the actual solutions proposed on each of the campus as a natural outcome of all of the input that we have had on each campus. First, we'll look at the capacity of the junior high school. The capacity is the number of students that a facility can accommodate comfortably with the educational program as designed by the school district. Here, in looking at the capacity of Emily Gray Junior High School, we found that the current facility capacity is a maximum of 440 students, or 32 teaching stations. And the current enrollment is 412 students, meaning that the school is currently being utilized at 93.6% and approaching 100% capacity. Growth trends indicate that the school will need a capacity for 450 students in the future. Educational adequacy looks at the distribution of rooms within a school and how they are utilized in the current program of teaching. And what we found is that currently, with the number of teaching stations we have at Emily Gray Junior High School, we will need an additional 3 teaching stations to accommodate the growth and the program as it's being taught at Emily Gray Junior High School. So currently, the 4 general classrooms are being utilized for subjects other than core subjects: health, weight training, orchestra, choir, and theater arts. The current band room is approximately 850 square feet, which is too small to accommodate a normal 50-student band class. And the current district offices on the campus are in need of demolition or renovation. The modifications we're suggesting for Emily Gray Junior High School are to demolish or renovate the existing district offices in order to accommodate a new performing arts wing at the school. The demolition of the district offices will not be paid for by the state funds provided to the district by the Public School Facilities Authority. That demolition will be paid for out of bond funds. We will design a new 8,235 square foot performing arts wing to connect with the campus through the inner courtyard in order to preserve the internal circulation. And the new wing should contain classrooms for band, orchestra, choir, and theater arts, as well as offices and storage. We will remodel the existing art and technology room and the band room area for backfill with current programs with our bond funds. Here you can see a chart that shows the spaces that will be in the new performing arts. A band classroom and instrument storage, music practice rooms and storage, music offices, a choral and orchestra room and choral storage, and a flex workroom gathering area that can be used for theater arts, or can be used for 2 classrooms working together, or can be used for after hours public meetings. And you can see the chart is totaled up at the bottom to 8,235 square feet. Here is an initial drawing by the architectural team to show how that would work on this campus. The north side of the drawing on the top is the bus drop-off and the roadway above, and you can see that the existing classrooms are at the bottom, and in the red square that is shown to the bottom, you can see that the new performing arts would be built there where the old district offices exist. And then you can see in the green squares where the remodeling projects would happen. This will greatly enhance the operation of the campus by giving back the classrooms to classroom functions, normal core classroom functions, and provide a performing arts wing for the performing arts that isn't working well at the current time. Now we'll move on and talk about Tonka Verde High School. The capacity of the current high school is 636 students with 33 teaching stations. The current enrollment at the high school is 615 students. This means the school is being utilized at 96.7%, quickly approaching 100%. Growth trends indicate a need for a capacity of 815 students at the school. When we look at educational adequacy, what are the classrooms that we have on campus, and how many of these classrooms will we need for the future 815 students? We can see that between the current allocation of classrooms and what we need, we will be required to add 6 additional teaching stations to the campus in order to accommodate growth. What we're proposing on the campus is a new construction of a classroom, lab / student support building of 18,000 square feet and a new science lab building of 3.5 thousand square feet, 3,500 square feet, I'm sorry. The renovations we're proposing from bond funds are to move the district administration into the current Tonka Verde High School administration building, move the Tonka Verde High School administration to the media center building, provide minor upgrades to the MPR, renovate the existing science labs, create new outdoor learning areas, and create a new bus lane realignment, improving the circulation of the bus lane. Here you can see in the chart that the new classroom, lab, and student support totals 18,773 square feet. The new science labs total 3,550 square feet for a total of 22,323 square feet of new building. Our bond-funded projects you can see below: district admin, Tonka Verde High School admin, MPR, improvement of the core classroom building for science, outdoor learning areas, and the bus lane realignment. Here you can see on a map created by our architects, just as an initial summary drawing of the work that is potentially to be done on campus. You can see that the red buildings on the campus, the red squares, are the new buildings. The larger student commons / lab classroom building will be placed to the west of the media center, and that building will include multi-use lab classrooms, multi-purpose classrooms, as well as collaborative work and study areas for students with a small student union reception, meeting rooms, collaboration areas for students to use throughout the day, meeting rooms, a new area for the Media Resource Center with reading areas and mobile book stacks and help desk, a technology help desk, a health area for students to access health services, a counseling and guidance area for students to access counseling and guidance services, a registrar's office for attendance and registrar duties, and the athletic director's office. Putting all of these functions together in this building will create a building where students are able to access student services all in one location. The smaller red square is the new science lab building, which will be located near the current labs, which you see in the green square, building 300 here. And we'll be adding those 2 new science labs to satisfy the requirement for 5 total science labs on campus, which is what we need for our 800 student enrollment. And in the student lab classroom commons building, we'll be adding 4 teaching stations for a total of 6 new teaching stations on campus, as we indicated in our educational adequacy chart that we needed. The green squares show where the renovation will be happening to current science labs and to the media center, the existing administration building, and the support area for the special ed building. Other areas of construction that are anticipated on campus are to add outdoor learning spaces throughout the campus in each of the ovals that you see on the drawing, and creating interconnecting courtyards in the campus for students to use as outdoor learning spaces, outdoor classrooms, and gathering spaces. The MPR renovations will be minor, adding a separation curtain, upgrading the sound system, and a review of the stage and potentially improving on the stage for performance. And then on the site, we'll be looking at the improvement of parking areas and bus realignment as well. Just some pictures here from our previous tour of the campuses that in workshop 2, but as a reminder, some of the ideas for these areas for classroom breakout and collaboration, what these might look like. Here's a flex lab / makerspace. Any of our multi-purpose labs could potentially be equipped with movable technology, high ceilings, and so forth, like in the picture, and movable furnishings. Our flex classrooms could include furnishings that are easily movable and reconfigurable, and perhaps flexible walls in between spaces to make larger flexible classrooms. Certainly on the junior high campus, we should see a space like this for our theater arts / flex classroom that was added into the performance arts edition. The career commons area that will be in the new student union could potentially look like something like this, where students access help in getting career advice, filling out college applications, and so forth. Here's another student collaboration and dining area that is all in one. Our new student collaboration area in the student commons / classroom building could potentially have some tables for dining like this. And here's a variety of outdoor learning areas shown on other campuses that could be integrated into our campus. Just different ideas. The picture on the bottom right shows a porch-like area with a sort of covering. We have terraces to create classrooms and gathering areas with just some stone. So lots of different ideas, some garden boxes, different ideas that we can do on our campus as we move forward with the project. Here is a link to exercise number 7, which is to give your feedback on these ideas we're presenting for the improvement of the 2 campuses. And this link is also going to be provided in the email you received for this workshop. So please do click on that and add your comments about the projects below. This is the end of workshop number 3. This is our final workshop, and I thank you for participating. Thank you for your patience since workshop 2. We were working closely with the architects and the district leadership to iron out some of these ideas. As you can see, there's lots of different small projects put together to improve both campuses, and we anticipate it to be highly successful. So thank you for participating. I'm Molly Smith. My email address is below if you need to email me and add comments. Thank you.